In the dim light of his cluttered apartment, Leo hunches over his worn couch, his thumbs flying across his phone screen. Come on, come on. Almost. Huh. Seriously? Leo mutters, his face illuminated by the game's glow. Amidst the scattered takeout containers and crumpled papers, a sudden, earth-shattering crash from outside rips through the night. This game is as rigged as my life. And rent's due next week. Fantastic. Leo groans, the sound of the crash still echoing in the small apartment. A delivery truck barrels recklessly down the street, ignoring the crimson blaze of the red light. The world turns to chaos as the truck hurtles towards Leo, an unstoppable force of metal and speed. The impact is swift and brutal, a sickening crunch that silences the street. A silent scream escapes Leo's lips as he is thrown through the air, his body weightless against the unforgiving force. A final, desperate curse echoes in Leo's mind as darkness descends, the world fading into oblivion. Leo's eyes flutter open, greeted by the unfamiliar softness of silk sheets against his skin. He lies in a massive bed, the centerpiece of an enormous bedroom that reeks of wealth and unfamiliar opulence. A sleek, futuristic interface shimmers into existence before him, displaying complex data streams that make no sense. Confusion clouds his features as he takes in the surroundings, a sense of displacement washing over him. Panic begins to tighten his chest, a cold dread creeping into his heart. The terrifying realization dawns. He has been transmigrated into the body of Vincent Hale. The crushing weight of reality bears down, an inescapable force. A stark realization dawns. I am the villain, branded with a ticking death sentence. Memories surge, fragments of the consumed novel swirling like a storm. The looming figure of Vincent Hale emerges, the architect of this twisted fate. He is the author, the puppeteer, the master of this nightmarish stage. Leo, in the guise of Vincent, enters Hale Manor, his eyes wide with feigned awe. The manor's opulent grandeur overwhelms him, a stark reminder of his humble past. Gilded frames and priceless artifacts line the halls, each detail meticulously crafted. He pauses, a subtle shift in his expression betraying the weight of his deception. Sunlight streams through the grand windows, illuminating the polished marble floors. Leo's reflection stares back from an ornate mirror, questioning the path he has chosen. In the opulent Hale Manor, a month later, Leo stands before a gilded mirror, his reflection a canvas of awkward ambition. He attempts a sneer, a forced expression meant to capture the villainous essence of Vincent. His face contorts, the muscles straining as he searches for the darkness within. But the effect is far from menacing. Instead, a comical grimace takes hold. He tries again, his brow furrowed in concentration, a silent battle waged against his own features. The mirror reflects not a villain, but a man lost in imitation, his efforts clumsy and unconvincing. Beneath opulent chandeliers, the ballroom glitters with elegance, teeming with guests in formal attire. Leo, impersonating Vincent, moves stiffly through the crowd, his discomfort a stark contrast to the surrounding opulence. He attempts to blend in, forcing a sneer that feels unnatural, betraying his inner turmoil. His unease is palpable as he navigates the crowded room, a lone bead of sweat tracing a path down his temple. Every glance, every gesture, reveals the tension simmering beneath his carefully constructed facade. Amidst the glittering extravagance of the gala, Leo attempts to charm Julian's business partners. His efforts fall flat, his words lacking the genuine conviction needed to sway them. His heart isn't in the game, his mind elsewhere, burdened by impending doom. Lost in thought, he appears detached, a stark contrast to the vibrant scene around him. The weight of his situation is visible in his eyes, a silent plea for an impossible escape. He scans the room, desperately seeking a glimmer of hope amidst the opulent despair. Inside the bustling charity auction, Leo pauses near the entrance, his gaze sweeping across the room. His eyes fixate on Julian Thorne, seated prominently in the front row. Under the bright lights, Julian's slender frame and delicate features are sharply defined. A subtle tension hangs in the air as Leo observes Julian from across the crowded room. Amidst the glittering chaos of the charity auction, Julian's face subtly wrinkles at a gaudy piece of jade. The jade glitters under the lights, a symbol of wealth and questionable taste. Leo observes Julian's fleeting expression, a smile playing on his lips. He finds Julian's distaste for the ostentatious display unexpectedly endearing. At the charity auction, Leo's villainous script fades, replaced by a new, softer perception. The terrifying tyrant Julian melts away, revealing a different image. Julian is seen as a silent, grumpy kitten rather than a fearsome lion. The transformation in perspective highlights Julian's unexpected vulnerability. The city sprawls below, a glittering tapestry of light stretching into the darkness. On the balcony, Julian stands alone, a silhouette etched against the night sky. He seems lost in thought, a solitary figure amidst the urban expanse. Leo watches him, an uncharacteristic impulse stirring within. A silent urge pulls Leo forward, drawn by Julian's quiet solitude. The city lights reflect in Leo's eyes as he decides to approach. On the balcony, Leo's casual pose belies the tension in the air, a gentle breeze playing with his hair. "Not a fan of the jade, Mr. Thorne?" Leo asks, his voice deceptively light. Julian visibly flinches at the question, his body tensing as if bracing for a blow. The unspoken words hang heavy, a silent battle waged on the open balcony. Julian's eyes dart around, betraying his unease. On the balcony, Julian casts a wary glance towards Leo, a silent question hanging in the air. The tension is palpable as Julian breaks the silence, his voice softer than Leo anticipated. "Vincent," he says. The name a gentle murmur against the backdrop of the open sky. The unspoken words linger, creating an atmosphere thick with anticipation and uncertainty. On the balcony, Leo raises his hands, a gesture of peace against the backdrop of an unseen conflict. His expression softens, a careful neutrality masking deeper intent. "Relax. I'm not here to pick a fight," Leo says, his voice a measured attempt at de-escalation. His eyes search the other's face, seeking a sign of understanding or acceptance. "I just thought you looked like you'd rather be anywhere else," he adds, a hint of empathy coloring his words. On the balcony, a flicker of surprise momentarily illuminates Julian's face, betraying his inner thoughts. He offers a tiny nod, almost imperceptible, revealing a hint of shyness beneath his composed exterior. The ambient sounds of the city rise up to meet him on the balcony. He pauses, collecting his thoughts before speaking. With a slight hesitation, Julian remarks on the overwhelming atmosphere. "It is loud." His words hang in the air, a subtle acknowledgement of the vibrant chaos surrounding him. On the balcony, a comfortable silence stretches between them, the unspoken words hanging in the air. Minutes tick by, each one adding depth to the quiet understanding that has blossomed. Julian offers a polite nod, a subtle gesture that acknowledges the moment they've shared. With a murmured excuse, he turns to leave, the air subtly shifting as the connection begins to fade. Unseen, the seed of connection has been planted, its roots reaching into the fertile ground of possibility. The board meeting room is dominated by a long, polished table, around which stern-faced executives sit, a palpable tension filling the air. Leo strides into the room uninvited, his sudden appearance causing a ripple of surprised glances among the executives. His eyes scan the room, a silent challenge in his gaze as he takes in the scene. Leo's gaze locks onto Julian, who sits at the table, subtly tapping away at something hidden beneath. The intensity between them thickens the air, the sound of silence amplifying the unspoken conflict. Days later, Leo starts observing Julian's subtle mannerisms, a new awareness blooming. A telltale blush creeps up Julian's ears whenever he's flustered, a secret now visible to Leo. Leo notices the peculiar way Julian clutches a pen with both hands, a gesture both endearing and odd. These small details, once unnoticed, begin to paint a more intimate portrait of Julian in Leo's mind. In the grand Hale manner, Leo observes the formidable Mr. Hale struggling with an ordinary tea set, an unexpected blush rising on his face. The cold CEO stutters, the carefully constructed facade beginning to crack under the weight of simple conversation. Mr. Hale averts his gaze, revealing a vulnerability that betrays his icy reputation. The truth unfolds. Beneath the calculated exterior lies a painfully shy, socially awkward soul. A business genius, stripped bare of his defenses, stands awkwardly amidst the trappings of his own success. Within the surreal landscape of Leo divided by Vincent's mind, a desperate fight unfolds, the very essence of survival hanging in the balance. The driving force shifts, a fierce and protective instinct rising to the forefront. Julian must be shielded at all costs. Each step, each breath, is now a testament to this unwavering commitment, a silent vow etched in the ethereal air. Leo's gaze hardens, the fiery determination burning brighter than ever before, a beacon in the mental chaos. His resolve solidifies into an impenetrable shield, deflecting the encroaching darkness with sheer force of will. The battle intensifies, fueled by love and sacrifice, as Leo becomes the ultimate protector in this mind-bending realm. Sunlight pierces the Gothic windows of Hale Manor, revealing dust motes suspended in the silent air. Leo, in his mid-30s and dressed with immaculate precision, works discreetly behind a large, ornate control panel. His movements are precise and deliberate, each adjustment of the complex array of wires revealing a hidden purpose. He subtly undermines Vincent's villainous schemes from within, his agenda masked by an impeccable facade. In the grand hall of Hale Manor, Leo commands attention as he stands before his assembled lackeys. Their expectant faces are turned towards Leo, eager for the sensitive intel they crave. Leo's expression is a mask, impassive and unreadable, concealing the true depths of his intentions. Instead of the vital information they anticipate, Leo feeds them outdated, harmless data. The true purpose behind Leo's deception remains shrouded in mystery, hidden beneath a veil of calculated indifference. On stage, Leo smirks, microphone in hand, his gaze sweeping across the expectant crowd. His eyes lock onto Julian, a silent challenge hanging in the air. Leo begins, his tone laced with veiled intent. Well, Julian, I must say, this product, it's certainly something. A beat of suspense as Leo pauses, the audience hanging on his every word. I mean, who would have thought of such a unique design? It's so innovative. I almost didn't recognize what it was supposed to be. But, in all seriousness, it's a bold move, and I commend you for taking such a risk. It might just be crazy enough to work, Leo concludes, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. Amidst the flashing lights of the product launch, Julian's eyes are fixed on Leo. Leo stands out against the spectacle, his expression a mask of confusion. His head tilts slightly, a silent question hanging in the air. The vibrant scene blurs around him as Leo struggles to understand. Julian watches intently, trying to decipher the meaning behind Leo's bewilderment. The tension builds as Leo remains lost in his thoughts, isolated in the crowded room. In the opulent study of Hale Manor, long shadows stretch and twist, cast by the dim light on priceless artifacts. Leo hunches over a mahogany desk, lost in a sea of documents, his brow furrowed in concentration. His eyes dart across the fine print, searching, seeking a hidden truth within the labyrinth of words. Suddenly, his expression sharpens, a flicker of understanding igniting in his eyes. A meticulously crafted plot unfolds before him, revealing a rival's sinister scheme to sabotage Julian's car. The pages of the novel blur with reality as Leo realizes he's stumbled upon a crucial, life-altering event. Deep within Leo, divided by Vincent's mind, a battle against unseen forces begins. The weight of impending sabotage hangs heavy, a silent threat looming large. A resolute decision forms. The car sabotage must be prevented at all costs. The gears of intellect turn, strategies and countermeasures taking shape in the mental landscape. Determination hardens into resolve, a promise etched in the very fabric of their shared consciousness. In the dim, late-night setting of Julian's office, a lone figure toils under the harsh fluorescent lights. Leo discovers Julian amid stacks of paperwork, his shoulders slumped with exhaustion. The weight of responsibility seems to bear down on Julian, making him appear smaller and more vulnerable. The office, usually a place of bustling activity, is now a quiet sanctuary for Julian's weary soul. Each shadow seems to amplify the fatigue etched on Julian's face, telling a story of relentless dedication. The silence is broken only by the soft rustle of paper, a testament to Julian's unwavering commitment. Without knocking, Leo bursts into Julian's office, his face etched with urgency. Leo's intense gaze pierces through the room, his words cutting through the air. "Julian, Leo declares, his tone leaving no room for argument. He advances, his warning sharp and direct. Do not use your car tomorrow. The gravity of his revelation hangs heavy. The brakes are going to be tampered with. In the confines of his office, Julian stares, his pen frozen midair. An oppressive silence descends, thick with unspoken tension. The weight of the moment hangs heavy, palpable in the stillness. Every tick of the clock amplifies the unspoken drama. In his office, Julian's gaze softens, his expression searching as he looks at her. Gone is the anger, replaced by a quiet intensity. His eyes reflect a deep need to understand. Why are you telling me this? He asks, his voice laced with vulnerability. Inside Leo, divided by Vincent's shared mind, an unexpected question hangs in the air, heavy and disorienting. Leo is caught off guard, his expression faltering as rehearsed lies begin to dissipate. The carefully constructed facade crumbles, revealing a flicker of vulnerability beneath. His eyes betray a moment of raw, unfiltered truth as the question reverberates within their shared consciousness. Like smoke in a sudden wind, Leo's prepared defenses vanish, leaving him exposed. Inside Julian's office, Leo watches Julian, a profound realization taking root in his expression. Leo sees Julian deserves tranquility, a peaceful haven untouched by the tumultuous plot that awaits. Leo's eyes reflect a silent promise to protect Julian from the chaos closing in. A quiet determination hardens Leo's gaze, a resolve to rewrite Julian's destiny away from the impending storm. The air in Julian's office crackles with barely suppressed emotion. Leo's voice trembles, a hairline fracture appearing in the polished veneer of Vincent Hale. The carefully constructed mask falters, revealing the raw vulnerability beneath. Because, he confesses, his voice thick with emotion, I can't stand the thought of anything happening to you. In his office, Julian's eyes widen, a subtle shift in his guarded expression. A delicate blush creeps across Julian's pale cheeks, betraying a flicker of vulnerability. He glances down at his hands, a moment of introspection before meeting Leo's gaze once more. His eyes lift, and the wariness fades, replaced by a burgeoning curiosity. A silent question hangs in the air as Julian's gaze softens, drawn to Leo. In the dim light of his office, Julian sits at his mahogany desk, shadows stretching across his face, obscuring his thoughts. His gaze is intense, searching, as if trying to unravel a hidden truth. He leans forward, his expression a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. You have been different lately, Julian murmurs, his voice barely audible in the stillness. You don't sneer as much. And your insults sound like compliments, he adds, a hint of perplexed amusement in his eyes. In Julian's austere office, Leo advances, his expression unreadable. Leo steps closer, invading Julian's personal space, challenging the Ice Emperor persona. Leo's voice drops, a hint of defiance in his tone as he confronts Julian directly. That's because they are, Leo confesses, his gaze unwavering, locking onto Julian's. Leo's words cut through the silence, a bold declaration hanging in the air between them. I think the real you is far more interesting than the Ice Emperor everyone is so afraid of, Leo finishes, his challenge now laid bare. Inside the intricate labyrinth of Leo divided by Vincent's mind, silence shatters. A piercing alarm blares, signaling imminent danger within the recesses of their shared consciousness. The warning echoes through the mental landscape, a stark intrusion into the delicate balance. A sense of urgency permeates, each pulse of the alarm a stark reminder of unseen threats. The tranquility of thought is replaced by a cacophony as the system screams its desperate caution. Inside Julian's office, Leo suddenly clutches his head as a sharp electric pain pierces through him. His face contorts in a grimace, a silent scream etched in the lines around his eyes. The sudden agony throws his world into disarray, a battle against unseen forces raging within. His hand presses harder against his temple, as if trying to contain the tempest within. A moment of intense suffering etches itself onto his features, a silent testament to the unseen war within. Julian springs to his feet, his previous timidity vanishing, replaced by a surge of concern. His eyes widen with worry, focusing intently on Vincent's unseen figure. Vincent, are you all right? Julian asks, his voice laced with urgency. The question hangs in the air, the office momentarily silent as Julian awaits a response. Inside Julian's office, Leo's forced smile barely masks the tension coiled in his jaw. A storm of suppressed anger brews beneath the surface. The weight of his precarious position bears down on him. His eyes reflect a battle between defiance and resignation. The air crackles with unspoken words and hidden motives. With strained composure, Leo utters a single, loaded word, "Fine." Julian, concerned, gently reaches out in his office. His cool hand meets Leo's forehead, a silent assessment passing between them. Julian's eyes search Leo's face for signs of distress. "You're pale," Julian observes, his voice laced with worry. A palpable tension fills the room as Julian's concern deepens. Leo's reaction remains unseen, leaving Julian's worry hanging in the air. A surge of raw sensation courses through Leo as Vincent's touch breaks the world's cruel facade. In the desolate landscape of their shared mind, a single touch radiates warmth, a stark contrast to the surrounding chill. The simple act of human contact becomes a seismic event, shaking Leo to his core. For the first time, he experiences genuine care, an alien emotion in this forsaken place. In the dim light of Julian's office, dust motes swirl around Leo, his face a mask of grim resolve. Long shadows dance around him, mirroring the turmoil within. His eyes glint with defiance, a spark of rebellion igniting in the depths. He stands tall, a solitary figure against the oppressive backdrop of the office. His voice, low and resonant, fills the room with unwavering conviction. "To hell with the system. To hell with the plot," he declares, his words a challenge to the very fabric of his reality. Within the labyrinth of Leo divided by Vincent's mind, confusion begins to coalesce. A sudden, undeniable realization pierces through the fog of conflicting emotions. The constant thoughts and unspoken yearnings begin to align. A single, overwhelming truth emerges from the depths of his subconscious. The narrator's voice cuts through the mental landscape, giving a name to the previously unnamed feeling. He's falling in love with Julian. Inside Julian's office, worry lines etch deeply around his eyes, reflecting the gravity of the situation. A warm, genuine smile spreads across Leo's face, a beacon of reassurance in the tense atmosphere. Leo leans closer, his expression earnest, as if sharing a profound secret. He whispers conspiratorially, his voice barely audible above the silent tension. "The script they gave me was all wrong." The weight of his words hangs heavy in the air, a pivotal revelation that could change everything. In Julian's dimly lit office, a silent tension hangs in the air as Leo reaches out. Leo's hand covers Julian's, a gesture of support and unspoken understanding. His voice resonating with determination, Leo offers a solution. "Let me rewrite it. With you." The weight of his words settles, a shared resolve forming between them. Sunlight floods Hale Manor, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, as Leo immerses himself in a world of strategy. At the mahogany desk, Leo, eyes gleaming with newfound determination, pores over a laptop, surrounded by books on business and espionage. His focus intensifies as he researches subtle methods to elevate Julian's company from within. He leverages his deep understanding of the original plot's trajectory, seeking to turn the tables from the inside. Leo sits at the polished table, his composed expression a mask in the tense boardroom atmosphere. Julian presents his proposal, every gesture measured, while Leo subtly steers the conversation with carefully chosen nods. As objections rise from other board members, Leo interjects, his counter-arguments precise and supportive of Julian's vision. A flicker of gratitude crosses Julian's face as Leo's support solidifies, easing the palpable tension in the room. In the calm of Julian's office, Julian sits opposite Leo, his face a canvas of gratitude and bewilderment. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the unspoken tension between them. Julian leans forward, his eyes searching for answers in Leo's calm demeanor. The air hangs heavy with unspoken questions and uncertain motives. "I still don't understand why you're doing this," Julian says, his voice tinged with disbelief. The weight of Leo's actions settles in the room, casting long shadows on their interaction. In Julian's solemn office, Leo pauses, a fleeting moment of hesitation shadowing his face. He steels himself, choosing honesty as his weapon. His voice, laced with a dangerous vulnerability, cuts through the silence. "Because I care about you, Julian. More than I should," he confesses, the unspoken hanging heavy in the air. In his office, Julian reels from Leo's unexpected confession, his composure visibly shaken. A wave of disquiet washes over Julian as he averts his gaze, a blush creeping up his neck and painting his ears a delicate pink. The weight of unspoken words hangs heavy in the air between them. Julian battles with his inner turmoil, his reaction a silent storm of emotions. In the tense atmosphere of Julian's office, the sound of shuffling papers fills the air, punctuated by nervous breaths. Julian struggles to find the right words, his anxiety palpable. He hesitates, caught in a moment of profound uncertainty. I don't know what to say," Julian finally confesses, his voice laced with apprehension. The weight of unspoken words hangs heavy in the room, amplifying Julian's distress. In Julian's quiet office, a silent tension hangs in the air as Leo reaches out. His touch, feather-light yet firm, speaks volumes as he gently takes Julian's hand. A promise of unspoken support passes between them. "You don't have to say anything. Just let me show you," Leo says, his eyes conveying a depth of understanding. Soft lighting bathes the intimate restaurant, creating a warm haven for the evening's unfolding events. Leo gently guides Julian through the softly lit space, leading him towards a secluded corner, promising privacy. Seated across from Julian, Leo leans in with palpable interest, his smile genuine and inviting. His eyes sparkle with anticipation as he prompts Julian to reveal his passions, setting a tone of earnest curiosity. Leo listens intently, his focus unwavering as Julian begins to share, fostering an atmosphere of deep connection. The warm glow of the restaurant enhances the budding intimacy between them, highlighting the promise of a shared evening. In the bustling restaurant, Julian leans forward, a spark of confidence igniting in his eyes. His gestures become animated, each movement underscoring his newfound openness. The weight of reservation lifts, revealing a passionate soul eager to connect with Leo. He speaks of his deepest passions, vulnerabilities laid bare in the intimate setting. The initial shyness melts away, replaced by a genuine and engaging presence. Inside the bustling restaurant, Leo finds himself increasingly drawn to Julian's authentic nature. A subtle smile plays on Leo's lips as he listens intently, his eyes reflecting a deepening affection. The warmth of the restaurant fades into the background as Leo is completely absorbed by Julian's presence. Love blossoms subtly, nurtured by genuine connection amidst the ambient sounds of the restaurant. In the softly lit apartment, Leo and Julian stand close, long shadows stretching around them, the air thick with unspoken desires. A charged silence hangs in the balance as Leo's voice breaks the quiet. "Julian." Julian responds in a hushed tone, his breath ghosting the space between them. "Leo." Their eyes lock, a silent invitation passing between them as they lean in, drawn together by an irresistible force. A tender kiss seals their connection, a soft meeting of lips in the quiet of the night. The kiss ends abruptly as a shrill phone rings, shattering the tender atmosphere. Julian pulls away, the warmth of the moment replaced by a shadow of unease. He answers the phone, his expression hardening as he listens intently. It's a warning about a new threat against Julian, a voice whispers, heavy with foreboding. The phone call hangs in the air like a dark omen, signaling danger. Deep in the labyrinth of Leo's mind, an icy dread begins to creep through the corridors. Despite his best efforts to rewrite destiny, a palpable sense of unseen danger remains, a shadow clinging to the edges of his awareness. Leo halts, a chilling realization dawning upon him. Malevolent forces are still at work, their sinister plots weaving around Julian. The very air crackles with ominous energy, a silent warning echoing through the chambers of his mind. An unsettling premonition grips him, as though he is standing on the precipice of a looming catastrophe. Inside Hale Manor, Leo and Julian stand shoulder to shoulder, their faces etched with grim determination. Ancient texts and arcane artifacts scatter around them, each piece a potential clue in their desperate search. They sift through the relics, their movements precise and urgent, driven by the looming threat. A shared resolve hardens their gaze as they delve deeper, seeking to unearth the source of the encroaching darkness. In the Hale Manor, a palpable tension fills the room, thick with unspoken accusations and simmering resentments. Scattered across the polished mahogany table, documents expose a treacherous plot, each page a testament to betrayal. The documents reveal a rival company, its motives stained by avarice, lurking in the shadows. A disgruntled former employee, consumed by bitterness, emerges as a key player in this web of deceit. Their conspiracy threatens to shatter the very foundation of the Hale Empire, unraveling generations of legacy. The air crackles with the weight of impending doom as the Hales face the devastating consequences of betrayal. In the cavernous warehouse, dust motes swirl in the single, stark beam of light that pierces the darkness. Leo stands resolute, his hardened gaze fixed on Julian. Julian visibly tense, mirroring the grim faces of the conspirators huddled in the shadows. A palpable tension hangs heavy in the air as the conspirators watch, their faces etched with concern under the harsh light. The single beam of light illuminates the stark contrast between Leo's resolve and the conspirators' anxiety. Within the echoing expanse of the warehouse, Julian, typically withdrawn, stands guard, a newfound resolve hardening his features. His eyes blaze with unexpected courage as he shields Leo from unseen threats. A silent promise etched on his face. Every muscle in Julian's body is taut, a coiled spring ready to unleash surprising strength. The dim light catches the sweat beading on his brow, a testament to his unwavering determination. In this moment, Julian's transformation is complete. From timid to tenacious, a protector born of necessity. In the aftermath of a fierce battle, Leo and Julian stand tall, their chests heaving with exhaustion and triumph, surrounded by fallen conspirators. The dim warehouse light catches the sweat on their brows, highlighting the grim determination etched on their faces. An unspoken understanding passes between them, a silent acknowledgement of the bond forged in the crucible of shared struggle. Despite the chaos and the cost, a quiet sense of victory settles in the air, a testament to their resilience and unity. Bathed in sunlight, Julian stands tall at the head of the conference table, a leader addressing his company. "I want to thank you all for your hard work and dedication," Julian says, his voice resonating with sincere gratitude. He continues, his words filled with conviction. "We've successfully thwarted the conspiracy that threatened our company." Julian's gaze sweeps across the room, acknowledging each member with a nod of appreciation. His expression softens as he turns his attention to one individual in particular, singling him out from the crowd. "I especially want to recognize Leo for his unwavering loyalty and commitment," Julian declares, his voice ringing with admiration. "He played a crucial role in uncovering the truth." The air crackles with unspoken surprise as Julian's affection hangs palpably in the office. A ripple of hushed whispers spreads amongst the staff, their glances darting with curiosity. The usual office dynamic shifts, the unexpected display, leaving a lingering tension. The open affection for Leo creates a palpable buzz, an unspoken question hanging in the air. Soft light envelops Julian's office, casting a gentle glow on the scattered papers. Leo and Julian stand amidst the disarray, a quiet understanding passing between them. The weight of their shared journey is palpable, etched deeply into their weary faces. A moment of reflection hangs heavy in the air, filled with unspoken thoughts and shared burdens. The soft light seems to amplify the silence, emphasizing the gravity of their situation. Their eyes meet, a silent acknowledgement of the trials they have faced and the road that still lies ahead. In his office, Julian leans back, a subtle smile hinting at triumph as he surveys the landscape of scattered papers. The desk is a battlefield of revisions, each document a testament to the extensive rewrite. His eyes gleam with satisfaction, reflecting the countless hours poured into perfecting the script. A quiet moment of reflection washes over him as he takes pride in the accomplishment. "We really did rewrite the script, didn't we?" Julian murmurs, a rhetorical question hanging in the air. The rewritten script lies before him, a symbol of the potential and success that awaits. Sunlight bathes Julian's quiet office, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The room is quiet. Leo's voice breaks the silence, a hint of defiance in his tone. "We did," I reply, "and I wouldn't have it any other way." Inside Leo, divided by Vincent's mind, the simulated world shimmers, its edges blurring like watercolors on dissolving paper. The architecture of the mindscape visibly responds to Leo's emotions, softening its once rigid construct. Control weakens as the digital boundaries flicker, A subtle exit begins to materialize within the dreamscape. A return to reality is hinted at. Leo awakens, sunlight filtering into a room devoid of the familiar glow of technology. His gaze sweeps across the room, a slow dawning of realization etching itself onto his face. The sleek, futuristic interface that once defined his reality is conspicuously absent. A profound sense of liberation washes over him as he understands. He's free. Inside Hale Manor, a sense of anticipation hangs heavy in the air. I move with purpose, eager to find Julian. My footsteps echo through the grand hall as I hurry toward him. The weight of unspoken joy propels me forward. Each step brings me closer to sharing the news that could change everything. My heart races with the anticipation of his reaction. Sunlight floods Julian's modern office, casting sharp shadows across the minimalist decor. Leo stands defiantly opposite Julian's desk, his face set with determination. His eyes reflect a newfound resolve, challenging the established order. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Leo prepares to break free. I'm no longer bound by the system, Leo declares, his voice ringing with conviction. Julian watches, a mixture of surprise and contemplation flickering across his face as the challenge is laid bare. In Julian's office, a long-awaited embrace begins to heal old wounds. A silent understanding passing between Leo and Julian. The heavy burden of past grievances seems to lessen as they hold each other, finding solace in forgiveness. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air, as if the room itself breathes a sigh of relief. Side by side, they stand united, a resolve etched on their faces to confront whatever lies ahead. Day by day, they will rewrite their shared history, their bond strengthened by the trials they have overcome.